The undocumented workers would come into the office in groups. They would provide them either permits or driver's license illegally. So they will bypass without even taking the test.
How much?
$200 a person.
Up to 5 times a day, she says.
Now let me break down how this sophisticated fraud operation worked because it shows the level of corruption that we're dealing with in Kentucky. This was an industrial scale fraud operation. They used fake birth certificates, social security cards, but the key here was bypassing the required Homeland Security screenings. Employees processed transactions under other workers' computer logins. So if anyone investigated it, it looked like legitimate employees were processing legitimate applications.
My ID was being used in order to pin me into this scam.
Her whistleblower letter, dated October 29, 2024, warned management that her employee credentials were being used, even when she wasn't at work. Investigators later said that her ID popped up in more than 2,000 shady transactions.
They actually took my phone and looked through all my messages. They looked through my Cash App. They looked through my Zelle.
Melissa started getting emails asking, how are you doing this? Because corrupt workers are using her logins and passwords. That's where it unraveled. The fraud was so systematic that they were using other employees' credentials to cover their tracks. Now let's talk about the scope of this fraud because the numbers show this was happening on an industrial scale across Kentucky.
Governor Andy Beshear confirmed that employees have been fired and almost 2,000 driver's licenses or credentials have been revoked.
The revoked credentials, if used, would not work at an airport, would be flagged if pulled over at a traffic stop.
The governor confirmed that almost 2,000 driver's licenses have been revoked. 2,000 driver's licenses. These credentials won't work at airports and they'll be flagged during traffic stops. That's nearly 2,000 people driving around Kentucky with fraudulent licenses who never took a driving test.
Beshear said the 1,985 driver's licenses were discovered during a routine review of credential applications. A former clerk spoke to WDRB News this week saying her coworkers were selling those driver's licenses to undocumented immigrants for $200.